General Hospital shocker. A dangerous encounter between Gio and Rocco unleashes a life-changing secret. It started on a rainy Friday night at the Pier 55 warehouse, where Gio Cerullo had arranged a low-key meeting with a street informant. The young but unpredictable cousin of Brooklyn Quartermain had recently become entangled in Sonny Corinthos' world, too smart for his own good and dangerously eager to prove himself. What Gio didn't expect was to find Rocco Falconeri already there. Rocco, now a troubled young adult navigating life after discovering the full scope of his father Dante's violent past, had started doing freelance work for an investigative podcast, one secretly funded by a rival of Sonny's. That night, Rocco was chasing a lead that Gio unknowingly was about to bury. The meeting went sideways fast. As Gio cornered the informant, trying to intimidate him into silence about a Corinthos shipment, Rocco stepped out of the shadows and snapped a photo with his phone, incriminating evidence that could blow open Sonny's operations. Rocco, you think I don't know what this is? You're just another soldier, Gio. Another punk. Gio, furious. You have no idea who you're playing with, Rocco. You really want to drag your father back into this. Then came the mistake. Gio lunged. Rocco tripped backward, hit his head on a steel barrel, and crumpled. Blood pooled fast. Gio froze. Rocco survived, barely. He was rushed to General Hospital by a local fisherman who found him unconscious. When Dante arrived, still in uniform, his gut twisted seeing his son's broken body. Sam, by his side, immediately asked the question no one else would. Who would do this to Rocco? Dante suspected one person immediately, Gio. The problem? He had no proof. And worse, part of him didn't want to believe it. Not just because Gio was family, but because Dante had kept a secret for decades that, if revealed now, would burn the entire Cerullo Falconeri connection to the ground. Gio returned to the Cerullo house, visibly shaken. Brooklyn noticed instantly. Gio, I didn't mean to hurt him. I just lost control. He was threatening the family. Brooklyn. The family? This isn't the mob, Gio. Rocco's your cousin, kind of. You could have killed him. Lois overheard the argument and pressed Gio further. Eventually, in a breakdown of guilt, he confessed, but made her swear not to tell anyone. Lois was torn between loyalty to family and the truth. But she also had another problem. She knew the secret Dante had been hiding about Gio, a secret she had begged him never to tell. In a desperate move to confront the past, Lois visited Dante at the hospital and begged him to drop the investigation. Lois, don't dig, Dante. Please. If you do, you won't like what you find. Dante pushed back. My son almost died, Ma. If Gio did it, I need to know why. And if he's so far gone he'd hurt his own cousin, then maybe this secret you and Pop have been hiding is part of the reason. Then Lois dropped the bomb. Joe's not just your cousin, Dante. He's your brother. Dante froze. Everything inside him shut down. Flashback to 1999. Lois had left Bensonhurst briefly to find herself after her divorce from Ned Ashton. In that time, she'd had a one-night stand with Dominic Pirelli, Dante's biological father. She found out she was pregnant after she'd returned to Bensonhurst, keeping the pregnancy secret from everyone. She gave the child to her aging aunt to raise, pretending Gio was her cousin's kid. When Gio was 9, he was told the truth by the aunt, but not by Lois. Lois eventually helped raise him quietly, making sure he was kept away from Sonny's orbit. But in recent years, Gio started digging, and he pieced it all together. He knew Dante was his brother, and he resented him. At the docks where the incident happened, Dante cornered Gio alone, in the same place Rocco had bled out. Dante, why didn't you come to me? Why go after Rocco? Gio, bitter. Because he got everything. A father. A family. A chance. All I got were secrets and shadows. And when I finally try to prove I belong, he calls me a punk. Dante couldn't deny it. Part of him had looked down on Gio for years, quietly dismissing him as reckless and immature. But this wasn't about that anymore. This was about blood. Rocco finally regained consciousness, confused and suffering from short-term memory loss. He didn't remember the fight, not entirely, but he did remember Joe's voice and one word: brother. Dante sat by his bedside, wrestling with whether or not to tell Rocco the truth. Sam urged him to wait, but Rocco pushed. Rocco, if he called me brother, what does that mean? Dante broke. He's my brother, which means he's your uncle. Rocco's face paled. He whispered, and I almost died because of him. Rocco finally regained consciousness, confused and suffering from short-term memory loss. He didn't remember the fight, not entirely, but he did remember Joe's voice and one word: brother. Dante sat by his bedside, wrestling with whether or not to tell Rocco the truth. Sam urged him to wait, but Rocco pushed. Rocco, if he called me brother, what does that mean? Dante broke. He's my brother, which means he's your uncle. Rocco's face paled. He whispered, and I almost died because of him. Word began to spread, slowly, then all at once. Sonny found out through Olivia, who begged him not to retaliate. But Sonny saw the danger differently. If Joe's emotional instability led to someone like Rocco being hospitalized, how long until Gio became a threat to the business? Sonny pulled Gio aside at Pozzolo's. Sonny, you've got a lot of anger in you. But if you ever touch another member of this family again, I'll deal with you myself. Gio, I'm part of this family.
Sonny, no.
You're part of the bloodline, but family is earned. Gio left in silence, knowing his position was crumbling. Dante tried to extend an olive branch. He invited Gio to the house, asked him to sit down with Rocco, to apologize. Gio refused. Instead, he delivered a cold monologue. Gio, you were the golden boy, the hero cop with the tragic past. I was the reject you left behind. You don't get to sweep this under the rug with an apology. Dante, then what do you want? Gio, I want everyone to know what you've done, what you covered up, what you let Sonny do for years. Gio had made copies of Rocco's photos and intended to release them, not just to the police, but to the public. He wasn't seeking justice anymore. He was seeking ruin. As Dante prepared for the inevitable fallout, he discovered one last devastating truth. Gio had been approached by Dex Heller, secretly acting on orders from Jason Morgan, who had returned to Port Charles under the radar. Dex offered Gio protection and a place in a new, reformed criminal syndicate designed to outmaneuver Sonny. Jason had a plan: disassemble Sonny's power from within. And Gio was his key. The final scene ends with Jason telling Gio, "You want revenge.
I want justice.
Let's burn the past together." Rocco transfers to a private rehabilitation center in Pennsylvania, choosing distance from the Falconeri family. Gio disappears from Port Charles, but sightings of him are reported in Canada and upstate New York. Dante remains torn, devastated by what he's lost, and terrified of what's coming. Sonny feels a war brewing, but can't tell where the next strike will come from. And in a secret encrypted message delivered to Dante's inbox at the PCPD. This was never about Rocco. This was about you.
G.